Hello, scholars. So I'm going to show you how to run descriptive statistics in JASP. You're going to open your program, which should be found off of your Start button. You'll scroll down and find your JASP. And when it loads, you're going to go to these three blue bars up here on the upper left corner. You'll click them and you're going to select Open. If I had a brand new data file, I'd use New, but we did this last week. So you're going to select Open. Likely you'll find it under recent files, but if you already use this, you might need to use your computer. Okay, I just used it, so recent files, this is what I named it for our class, and I can see it's in my Columbia Southern folder. I'm going to click my file, and this is what you're going to see now. Okay, so the first thing you're supposed to do is order descriptive summaries for all of your variables. So I'm going to go to descriptives. And a drop down happens, and I'm going to select descriptives again. Now I get this new stuff over here on the right. By the way, if you need to look at your data, look at that. We've got arrows here. You can see your data. You can go back to your data. Okay. Now I am not interested in the categorical variables here, gender, age, and education. So we are not using those today. We are just going to use our numeric continuous variables, and I'm going to move them all here. So I highlight the variable I want to move, I hit the arrow, and it comes over here. I have to tell the program what it is I want to test. Okay, now here is where I can order the specific statistics that I want and my charts and graphs. So you're going to click over here on statistics and you get this drop down. I want mean, median, and mode. We usually discuss those when we look at a histogram. When they're all the same, we have a bell curve, remember. You can add quartiles. Skewness and kurtosis are numbers related to the distribution. We want standard deviation under dispersion. And we want variance, minimum and maximum. You don't really need range, but you can select range if you want to. And inference, we want our confidence interval. So the confidence interval we're talking about here, I'll scroll down, is confidence interval for the mean. So this means I'm 95% sure that the mean is going to fall within these two scores. I want 95%. That's what we use in social science. Remember, you can use other things. And for this, just leave the T model. Now, if you look over here on the right-hand side, this is called an output or results. And I've got my table here. And for each variable labeled across the top, I can go down the side and look up their number. Notice skewness and kurtosis, which I discussed in the video I made you, how to interpret those numbers. That goes to the shape of the distribution, your central tendencies. Okay. Now, your homework also calls for you to run a Shapiro-Wilk test, but we're only going to look at leadership and aptitude. So I'm going to put back the variables I'm not looking at just for simplicity. Okay. So, oh, by the way, if I want to copy and paste this into my paper, I can hover over descriptive statistics here and I select copy, or I can hover over it right here and I can select copy. I can also edit the title and add notes, do a few other interesting things. Okay, so that's how I would copy it into my paper. This might be how, right? And then I would right click. Usually I check them. I go through all of these and see what they look like to select one that I wanted. Okay. Now let's order our Shapiro-Wilk test for leadership and performance. So I don't need organizational commitment. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to put it back. See the arrow changed directions? I don't need job satisfaction. I'll put it back. I don't need skill. I don't need day 2 or day 1 or performance. Now I can get rid of all of these things, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to hit my Shapiro-Wilk test. I got a new table, right? So here, I can do the same thing. I can click this to copy and paste it, but here's my Shapiro-Wilk. Here's the statistic for aptitude and for leadership, and here's the p-value. I will discuss in a separate video how to interpret normality. Okay, now I also want to order histograms, and if I wanted to order any QQ plots or anything like that, I would do this the same way. I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to go to basic plots. I'm going to select distribution plot for a histogram, and I want to display the density. I want the line. Now, because I have both aptitude and leadership up here in the variables that I'm testing, I will get a plot for both of them. I'm only interested in the aptitude right now, but I could also order QQ plots right here. They would show up for interpretation. See that right beneath? And remember, here we're looking, you can find outliers, or if it really deviates from normality by looking at either end. I could also order box plots if I click on customizable. So here's a box plot. And like my video showed you, you can interpret that as well. Now, if you notice on my box plot right here, if we look at aptitude, I've got one outlier. But it's not a significant outlier. It's not way far outside of the box. But if you're looking for outliers, I use a box plot. And I check for things outside of the edge of each box. Okay? And again, you can copy and paste these into your paper. I will give you a separate video on interpreting everything for normality and distribution. I covered variables and descriptive summaries already in another video. Thank you.